Miller tonight is doing a fundraiser for Fair Fight 2020, which is a voters comedy gala at Ant Hall November 1st. Please welcome Hailey Zureich.
Thank you. Please keep clapping until I tell you to stop. Please keep clapping. Thank you. Please keep clapping. Thank you. Okay, everyone stop. This isn't actually my story, but I do make a cameo, and it's set in the 80s. That's why I'm dressed like Janine from Ghostbusters. This is my mom's story. I have a first question for the audience. By applause, does anyone know how to raise tables? Perfect. You're going to learn something tonight. Is everyone thrilled by that? Yeah. This is practically PBS, kids. Okay, so the story begins. It's the late 80s, early 90s. I'm 4 years old. Everyone say aw. Aww. I know. My mom is in her early 30s, and she does what a lot of stay-at-home moms did at that time, which is she decided to go to beauty school. Now, beauty school is not full of dropouts, despite what musicals will teach you. There's a lot of women that do go there, and my mom was really hyped because she went to go visit my dad's side of the family. The first part of the story is going to feel like she should be hyped. She went to Ohio to visit them. Okay, relax. My dad's side of the family, they're from the foothills of Ohio. That means that they're hill people. And hill people, they do a lot of really interesting things, and one of them is that they practice magic. And they practice the arts, because most of them don't have cable. So my great-granny Miller, and that's literally her name, great-granny Miller, she taught my mom how to raise tables, because it was something that they did. And if you don't know who knows what raising tables is? Perfect. Raising tables is a form of seance. And what happens is that you take a table, something like this would actually be perfect, and you get 4 people, and they sit around it, and they put their hands on the table, kind of like a Ouija board. You don't put enough pressure to like hold it down or to move it, but your hands just rest on it. And then the idea is you get calm enough in your heart to focus on nothing. And as a group, don't laugh, this is a serious part. They get calm enough to just focus on nothing, to give space for someone else to show up. And as a group, you chant together, raise, table, raise. Is everyone ready to do that together?
Oh, yeah.
We all have to say yes. That's how consent works. Is everyone ready to do that? Okay, so now hush. I'll tell you when we say it. So on 3, we're all going to say raise, table, raise. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Raise, table, raise. Raise, table. This is not Netflix. I can see you. Cut. That's how it works. Okay? Now the thing is, my great-granny Miller, she was a spiritualist, so she spent times hunting ghosts and eating herbs, and I bet at some point she learned how to do something. But she taught my mom, and my mom was so hyped, and so she walked in, and she had curly hair without a perm, and she liked to always inject that in the story. So she rolled into beauty school with her giant, gorgeous hair. I can't do that, genetics. So she walked in and she told her girlfriends, I learned how to raise tables. And they were like, girl, shit. She was like, yeah. So my mom was like, so she was like, can you come show us? So her 2 girlfriends, we're going to give them names. We're going to call Jan is the one that invited her over to the house. Jan, and we'll call the other one Elise because she doesn't really mean anything. No offense to any Elises in here. No offenses to any Elises. It's just a name to pick. So, a couple days later, my mom shows up to a house in Warren. I had a feeling a lot of you were from there. She shows, relax. So she shows up to this house in Warren, and it's this very simple starter home. I'm Italian, so I'm going to say something that might make some of you uncomfortable, but I'm allowed to say it. Jan was married to a Dago, and he was sitting in the living room watching Cops in a white theater with a gold chain. Okay? Jan had also just had a baby, which she gently put to bed just after everyone had enough time to say, oh, how cute! And then he put it to bed, and there was a dog. And so he's watching Cops, in the other room. And they all go in the kitchen, and you know how white women are. They're all like, we're gonna talk to ghosts. They got their table, and they're like drinking white wine. They are white women. And you know, anytime you ever try to do anything spooky, it always starts off like this, like, you know, like it's nervousness, so it's not your cute laugh. But you're still laughing because it feels kind of silly. But if you do anything that makes you feel silly long enough, you start getting serious about it. And that's why I do stand-up and improv comedy. So they're there. And they have their hands on the table. And they've all started to relax. Now I should add, there was a fourth woman in the room that my mom didn't know. So my mom's at the head of the table, which makes her the facilitator. Jan's on her left, this woman that my mom didn't know was on her right, and Elise was, I guess, here. But we don't really care about her. Their hands are on their table, they're all relaxed. And they start chanting. Ready?
Raise, table, raise.
Raise, table, raise. Raise, table, raise. Pause. In the distance. My mom really fucking says this shit. In the distance. You could hear the beginnings of a tempest. Okay, Mom. Building. And they continued.
Raise, table, raise. Raise, table, raise. Raise, table, raise.
The storm gets louder. The TV gets turned up. The baby's starting to make some noise in the other room, but they continue.
Raise, table, raise. Raise, table, raise. Raise, table, raise.
And then the table lifts. Now, when my mom tells this story, she's very clear. If you ever try to raise tables, what you'll experience a lot of is that it kind of like vibrates. I know that's a weird thing to say, but this is where we are. It's like vibrating. But it lifted. And she goes, I've only seen it when Granny Miller did it, and she knew what she was fucking doing. And I suddenly knew. I didn't know what I was fucking doing. And the table lifts. Now, when the table lifts, you can't ask it to spell things out because there's no letters. So you say, okay, we know that you're here. You're going to use 1 tap for yes and 2 taps for no. Do you understand? Okay. Do you know someone at this table? The storm is louder outside. The dago in the other room is upset. Did you die recently? The baby's crying in the other room. Are you a man? Thank God. Are you a woman? Now, my mom doesn't really know where to go from here. The storm's super loud. The TV is louder than the dago, which we all know how hard that shit can be. And suddenly the woman to my mom's right goes, did you die recently? The table goes apeshit. It's rocking back and forth, it's making lots of noise, the storm is raging, the TV is flickering, the lights are dimming, the baby's screaming, the dog has gone under the bed. All 4 women at the same time, except for the one on the right, lift their arms up and the table drops. The dago's yelling, the TV's fine, the lights are fine, the baby's screaming. And Jan says, do you guys want some pizza to go? So, is everyone okay? I know, because I'm not in the story yet. I'm fixing it. So a couple days later, my mom's at class, and Jan's like, shit. And my mom's like, I know. She's like, actually, Dan, my mom's name is Danis. Danis, I want to come over to your house. I have something to tell you, but I don't want to tell you here. My mom was like, cool. So later that afternoon, My mom's like doing a mom clean, you know, like before other human beings come to the house. She's like cleaning that way. And as you can imagine, I was one of those kids. I spent a lot of my time as a My Little Pony, as many other things, and I promise I'm almost done. My Little Pony, I was a weird kid. So the next thing that happens is I enter, everyone say yay.
Yay!
Thank you for the fake enthusiasm. I come in, I'm 4 years old, and I go, Mom, I need you to come in the bedroom. There's a red-haired angel that I want you to meet. That's a very normal thing for me to say. So Mom goes, cool, as soon as I'm done with the dishes, I'll be right there. 10 minutes later, she comes into the room and she goes, all right, Hailey, where's this fucking thing? And I go, well, she's not here anymore, Mom, but if she comes back, I will let you know. And I was like, cool. She goes out into the kitchen. Now later on, Jan shows up and she's got a newspaper clipping. And she sits down and she goes, Dennis, I don't know how to tell you this, but that woman that was there, she had a daughter who was raped and murdered in Doc Darrow's parking lot about a year ago. And she's been trying to connect with her. And this is her, she shows the newspaper clipping. And they start talking about like what they experienced, and I'm 4 years old, so I have no care in the world about their, anonymity or space, so I just roll on in, and I look at the picture, and I go, Mom! That's the red-haired angel I saw in your room! My mom hasn't raised tables since, but that hasn't stopped me from seeing spooky things. So if you're going to play with Ouija boards, if you think you're going to go home tonight and raise some tables, please keep in mind, you might know how to play the game, but you don't necessarily know the rules. There's enough white people in here, please listen to me. Watch one scary movie. It all starts out happy giggling, and then it ends in a 4-year-old scaring the shit out of you. Thank you so much.